Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne for 2013-2014. Our Season 8 is well underway. We've already had our first game and NIP have come through. I'm also now joined by two very special gentlemen, by Alex Müller from SK and from Deficio from NIP. We're going to be doing a lot of these over the weekend. When I say a lot, we're going to be doing 3 a day, and you're going to get Shoxby down here with some very special guests, and also Carmack. Not the Uchat version, I hope, is also going to be doing some interviews. So we're going to start off with you two gents because we wanted to try and get an understanding of what it's like behind the scenes from the management point of view, and Deficio in particular. You and I have some odd links in the past that we've gone from management to playing, back to management again. So we'll talk about that as well. But Alex, I wanted to start with you first. Both of you guys have had to rebuild teams, but you've had a lot of experience of rebuilding teams over the years, Counter-Strike teams and what have you. Is it any different in League of Legends?
Kind of is, yeah. One thing that's the same is that players try to make the decisions. Players try to look for team composition that makes most sense for them and for team chemistry. And then we, as in the management, have to try to make sense of it contract-wise. And that's the same. It's the same that happened between NIP and SK. I think we managed really good in that particular case. And you're right, the first time we did it was probably back in 2004. And the common response from the outside was, okay, now SK is dead.
Yeah, I remember.
It's 2013, 9 years later, we are still there. And now that we say we're not going to play with Carlos in 2014, guess what? Now SK is dead. So that hasn't changed either. The argument won't change. The community will always see it that way. But behind the scenes, and I guess he will grow into that role as well, you manage to come back, you manage to cope with these situations, and you manage to make the best out of it. And sometimes it's just, it leaps you ahead, actually. If you recall the decision-making after Painkiller for Quake 4,
yes,
we wanted to go with 2 other players than we actually did. And it all went down that we had to let go of these players, but in a trade, we got Toxic to SK.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a good situation we were in.
Worked out right. 11 wins for 11 tournaments, I think, in 2000.
Exactly.
It was a huge thing for you.
Totally dominating the scene at some point. And that's the opportunities you have with a change.
Yeah. Okay. Deficio, you, as I said earlier, have been backwards and forwards now. Are you settled? Are you done with playing, or are you still hanging in there?
I definitely think I'm done. I don't really feel like playing at all, and I see so many opportunities in the whole management part. And right now, just my start in NIP as like the manager with this new lineup has been really good. And I instantly learn more and more, and that also makes me want to keep evolving as a manager and not go back to playing. So for me, yeah, I'll definitely say I'm done playing.
Okay, just one tip: stay away from Boss's cars, okay? Because that won't get you anywhere. Small joke. He had a bit of an accident this week. Luckily, he's all right. We're thankful for that. Let's talk about Bjergsen as well, because big transfer story, and it's almost, I mean, for the Europeans amongst us here, it's very much the start of the type of football transfers speculation that we've started to hear, and there were lots of rumours flying around about him. We knew he was your star player. We knew that he wanted to go and play in the States as well, and they wanted him. But transfer negotiations, how did that go down? Because, I mean, everyone said that there was a very, very low amount of money offered to start with, and it changed somewhat, I think, as the transfer negotiations went on. But just from your point of view, how difficult was that to deal with? And, losing your star player, you then have to start thinking, well, okay, how do we replace him? So how did it all work out for you?
Well, the whole situation was a mess to start with, because it went from he's leaving, he's staying, he's leaving, he's staying, like all the time, because NIP and TSM had a very hard time talking about a potential transfer fee. So it kept going up and down. And also, we informed Bjergsen instantly that if we didn't have a proper replacement, we wouldn't let him go. Because one thing is selling a player and get some money in, but another thing is having a replacement, because your fans will not be happy if you don't have anyone.
And he was happy with that? He was okay, he understood?
He understood it, but obviously he wasn't happy. He wanted to go to TSM, but at the same time, you have to think of your team. You have to think of your teammates and also the organization behind. You can't just leave. Like, you have a contract, you sign that contract, which means that you play it out, unless a transfer fee can be sorted. But he knew that was a situation. Luckily, we found out that we would have a chance of getting a guy like Nuke Dog, which meant that we actually could let him go, and in the end everything worked out.
Yeah, I mean, you've had that in the past with trying to keep players that just don't want to be there. There's just no point in keeping them in the end, is there?
No, absolutely not. I mean, there's a certain level of professionalism that we expect from the players, just as he said. I mean, you tell the player you are on the contract, and at some point we give it a go, or we don't. If we don't see the economics play out, if we don't see a new team play out for us, then we have to put the hammer down and say no. That happens.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the changes. We've seen NIP already in action. We're going to see SK up next as well. Start with yourself, Deficio. Match 1 was a bit odd, if I can say that without being rude. First game, no problem, seemed pretty straightforward. And then game 2, we're just going to break out some weird picks and play strange. I mean, what was that? What was the thinking behind that?
Well, the thing about game 2 was not exactly what we had planned from the start. It kind of turned into a bit of a slump in a way. One of the reasons behind our Sion pick, which didn't really work, was that we wanted to try and confuse SK and Wolves, so they would think, okay, wow, they play Sion now, should we be scared of it? Or obviously it didn't work out. We tried it out now. We won't do this again. Next time we will just keep it full speed and just leave it at that. Yeah,
because game 3 was a pretty good demonstration of what your guys are capable of. They haven't been together that long, but for the time that they've been together, how happy are you about the gelling?
Well, right now it's working pretty much perfect for us. Obviously, everyone is moved to the gaming house. Everyone is happy to live there. We're doing our best, like as an organization, also to help them learn how to live in a gaming house, because we have some young people. We have some people who never lived away from their parents before, so they obviously need to learn. But everyone is doing a great job. Also, even trying to learn to cook, which is a simple thing. But like stuff like that, people have to learn, and they're actually trying.
You're absolutely right. But I tell you what, you have to catch up with the EG guys, because Crepo is a dab art at the pancakes. So if you guys can bring pancakes next time, we'll check them out.
I will bet you that Nuke Dog's meatballs.
Swedish meatballs?
Swedish meatballs.
Okay.
Are better.
Really? I'm willing to take this opportunity at some point this weekend if he's prepared to cook Swedish meatballs.
Probably not here, but we can invite him to Sweden.
He might be a bit busy with some games, I understand. Yeah. Okay, so big congratulations, because you guys are through to the final. Alex, similar stories for you guys in terms of rebuilding and gelling, and we all know how team composition is important, but it's also about how the guys get on as well.
It is. I mean, we got all the guys over to the gaming house right before the Red Bull Wings Academy, and so far it's going perfect. The guys are getting along together pretty good. From all the official matches we played, we won all of them. Of course, we lost a map here and there, but we won all the matches. And for us, it's a long period of preparing for what's going down mid of December. I guess it's the same at NIP's end. And we are right on track. We are right in schedule. The team shows pretty good results, and we're happy to see it that way.
I know you're a realist when it comes to results, but how important is Intel Extreme Masters Cologne as having a good, what is a good result for SK Gaming? Is it obviously isn't losing in the semi-final, but is it just making the final, or is it actually winning the tournament?
I'll be honest with you. It's two things going on in my head right now. One is we always want to win. We always want to compete. We always want to face the best teams, and we want to prove ourselves. And at the end of the day, we want to have the W. The other thing is that we learn more from a loss than from a win, because we see our mistakes. And in terms of the preparation we have for mid-December, Intel Extreme Masters comes at a very good point, because after Intel Extreme Masters we have enough time to adapt to mistakes we will do here, and maybe a loss is a good thing at Intel Extreme Masters. Still, it goes against wanting to will. But I guess he will give you the same answer.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was going to be the same question, really. But I already know that both of your organisations, as multi-gaming organisations, both have that very strong will to win. You guys have had to live up to your CS team this year. They haven't been quite so successful recently, but up until the middle of the year, how do you match up against the CS team in NIP? You're always the second guys, aren't you?
Well, right now we just look at their right this moment. They didn't win the last tournament, so if we win this one, we are like the upper team.
Okay.
That's how we keep it.
A little bit of in-house
At least that's what we're saying to them. It's not exactly what they're saying to us, but that's how we like to think. But now, I mean, obviously winning IEM here is huge for us, because it's like our first tournament with this lineup. We want to show to everyone that also NIP is something without Bjergsen. Like this also, we want to show the new lineup to everyone and see, look at here what we got. And we want to go and win this. We want to win DreamHack, and obviously we want to qualify for LCS.
Do you think it's easier for you to replace Bjergsen than it is for Alex to replace Ocelote in the team?
I think seeing, I don't know, it's hard to answer, because Bjergsen was really a fan favorite, and obviously he earned that status by being such a good player. But for me, having a guy like Nuke Dog as his replacement is probably the perfect guy, because they are like the same. both outside of the game and also in the game. They're pretty much the same kind of players. So just the fact that we get him and also some of the other players from Lemon Dogs, which are really strong players, and we could build up this whole team with also coach, analyst, manager, like everything kind of fit for us, means that, again, I think we'll be stronger than with Bjergsen.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining me. It's been very interesting talking to you both as ever. And best of luck in the final. Obviously, Alex, best of luck in your semi-final. And Alex mentioned a little bit earlier on about the Intel Extreme Masters and Singapore. Singapore is our next stop, and this is what you've got to look forward to.